All. This is Dr. S.K. Kulkarni, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur, having discussion with you on topic Managerial Economics Principles, Part 1. The learning outcomes of today's session are: at the end of this session, students will be able to explain principles of managerial economics and their applications. Let us see introduction. In managerial economics, certain theories are there, certain principles are there which help in making effective business decisions. They help in optimizing resource allocations and ultimately result in profit maximization. So these theories and these principles are very much important, which we are going to study in this particular session. There are a number of principles of managerial economics. For example, incremental principle. First is incremental principle, then time perspective principle, third opportunity cost principle, fourth equimarginalism principle, fifth discounting principle, and sixth marginalism principle. So these are the number of principles in managerial economics. Out of these, in today's session, we will see first three principles. What is incremental principle? Dear students, incremental principle is that which helps which says that decisions should be made if the incremental benefits exceed incremental costs. It involves comparing the difference in total revenue and total cost before and after implementing a decision. This particular principle helps managers to evaluate the financial impact of changes such as expanding production, introducing a new product, or changing pricing strategies. So this is very important principle. It focuses on analyzing the additional benefits and costs resulting from a business decision. This particular principle helps in profit maximization because the very purpose of every business is profit. So this profit will get maximized if this particular principle is followed. And how it heads? It's by highlighting the most beneficial business alternatives. It is especially useful for short-term decision making where fixed costs remain unchanged. Fixed costs like infrastructure, equipments, etc. In the short term, we cannot change these particular fixed costs. In that particular duration, this principle is helpful. The incremental principle supports resource allocation by guiding the optimal usage. It simplifies complex decisions by focusing on relevant changes. And it ensures managerial decisions contribute positively to a firm's financial performance. So overall, incremental principle is the very important principle. Now let us say the basic equation for this particular principle in managerial economics. Incremental profit is equal to incremental revenue minus incremental cost. This is the basic equation, where incremental revenue is change in total revenue from a decision. Incremental cost is the change in total cost from a decision. And the decision rule is, if incremental profit is greater than 0, accept the decision because it adds to the profit. But if incremental profit is less than 0, reject the decision because it reduces the profit. This is the basic equation. In simple terms, it can be written like this: delta profit is equal to delta revenue minus delta cost. This is the example of incremental principle. Reducing product quality may increase short-term profits but damage brand reputation and reduce future sales. So By thinking in a shorter perspective, we are likely to lose the brand of our reputation, and that particular thing should be taken care of, and hence the incremental principle should be followed. Another example is that if a business applying the incremental principle finds that producing 100 extra units costs rupees 1500 but earns rupees 2000, then this particular revenue which exceeds the cost is a profitable one. This decision is a profitable one. So this is example of incremental principle. Now let us see next principle of managerial economics, the time perspective principle. What it states? It states that managerial decisions should be evaluated and analyzed by considering both their short-term and long-term effects. Both short-term and long-term effects must be considered, right? And this particular principle helps in that direction. Managers must balance immediate benefits or costs with their future consequences. In short, certain decisions may seem to be profitable, but they could lead to losses or higher costs in the long run. Similarly, some investments may not yield quick returns but can offer substantial benefits over time. So this principle encourages decision makers to avoid focusing solely on immediate gains and instead adopt a long-term perspective for sustainable profitability and growth. Let us see the example of this particular principle. A firm with idle capacity gets an order for 5,000 units at rupees 4 per unit. The short run cost is rupees 3, resulting in a profit of rupees 1 per unit or rupees 5,000 say total. While profitable in the short term, accepting too many low margin orders may block higher margin opportunities. So while looking at the profit in the short term, you are likely to lose the long term orders because the firm is idle for some period of time and we are taking orders in that particular period of time, but there is a possibility that this short term gain may hamper your long term gain. Other customers may also demand the same low price, causing fairness issues. So both short term and long term effects must be considered in decision making. This is very important. So this particular principle must be considered by managers in taking the decisions. Now let us see the next principle, opportunity cost principle. What it says? It says that the cost of any decision is measured by the value of the next best alternative that is foregone. Means when managers choose one option, they sacrifice the benefits they could have gained from the second best alternative. So this principle helps managers make rational decisions by considering not only the explicit costs like money spent, but also the implicit costs like lost opportunities. It ensures efficient allocation of resources by focusing on maximizing potential returns. So let us see the example. If a company uses land to build a factory, the opportunity cost that rental would have given, obtained by leasing out that land is lost. So this is the concept that must be taken care of while taking any decision. Okay. So while taking one decision, while choosing the first alternative, you are losing the benefits which would have gained from the second alternative. That particular thing should also be considered, and this will help in your next decision making for the company. Dear students, let us stop a while here. Here are 2 review questions for you. Read them carefully and write the correct answers. The incremental principle suggests a decision is economically sound if these are the 4 options. And second, the time perspective principle emphasizes that managerial decisions should, these are the 4 options. Pick out the correct options. These are the correct options. Question number 1, B, incremental revenue exceeds incremental cost. Question number 2 is also B, consider both short term and long term effects. So these are the answers of the questions. Hope you have written them correctly. These are the references for today's session. Thank you.